Happy Friday, everybody. It is Friday, January 12th. This would be our first Premier's Healthful Friday informational video. Today what we're going to be making is Paleo Drop Biscuits. So today, all of the children in the local communities have gotten off of school because we're getting some freezing rain and snow. And everybody's telling me yesterday how they had to run to the store to get their staples, which would be in this time of the season, milk and bread. I do not support milk and bread for our diet. We do follow a paleo diet in our home, and I have been doing that for about a year and a half. I have seen so many health benefits come from it personally, and the actual patients and practice members who I get to follow that regimen, they find tremendous health benefits too. So I just wanted to give you an easy alternative to bread that's not only delicious but healthy for you. So I'm going to actually post the ingredients below this video so you can make it at home, because you're not going to remember all the ingredients that I add in here, and I want you to have the accurate measurements. So in my bowl already I have 2.5 cups of almond flour. Almond flour is your base. This is a really good brand of almond flour. When you usually go to Kroger or even Whole Foods, you can't find organic almond flour. I've looked tons of times. I found this brand off of Amazon. The reason you want to get organic is because almonds grow on trees, therefore they are sprayed with pesticides, and so of course you don't want to be consuming that. This is a great brand to actually purchase. I also have 2 free-range eggs in here. Free range, I say that because typically eggs are really poor quality for just getting a generic brand. Their chickens that produce the eggs don't have any good dietary guidelines. They're usually in some big warehouse getting tons of GMO grains, so of course that's not going to produce a healthful egg. We have a 1/2 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. To activate the baking soda, I'm also going to add in a 1/2 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. I promise apple cider vinegar is not going to make your biscuits taste bitter one bit. It's just going to activate that baking soda so I can actually fluff the biscuits up a little bit. Organic Brags, one of the best brands. You can find it virtually at any store. And then we're going to also add in a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. Notice how I'm not pulling this coconut oil out of a dish that came from the microwave. So we also don't utilize a microwave in our home. Most people come to our house and they're like, where's the microwave? Microwaves really degenerate the actual nature within the foods. It breaks down the actual nutrients. So everything that I do is stovetop. Really simple. I'm just going to add in that melted coconut oil here to my mixture. I am not mixing dry ingredients and wet ingredients separate. A lot of people would say, well, hold on a second, isn't that going to actually change the texture or the taste? I grew up with a mom who did professional baking, and we never followed that guideline. As long as you mix it good, you're going to find the same actual flavor. Lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of almond milk. So this is homemade almond milk. Later on, I'm going to actually share a video on how to make your own almond milk, because you're going to get really tasty almond milk, but also it's not going to be stored in a paper carton that's lined with plastic. Then do another video on avoiding plastic within your lifestyle. But 2 tablespoons of almond milk, it's going to give it a little bit of that creamy texture. Who does not love biscuits? I used to love gravy and biscuits as a kid growing up. Okay, so that's all we have to do for our actual base ingredients. We're going to go ahead and stir this all up. The one last thing that I also had added into the bowl was a tablespoon of honey. That's just going to give it a little bit of that sweet flavor. So once we get everything all mixed, you're going to notice that this consistency is a little different than maybe what you're used to if you're using typical flour, typical grain. It's going to have a little bit of a sticky type of texture. So once I get everything mixed together and I use my spatula, I can go ahead and spoon these biscuits onto a lined parchment paper baking sheet. For the parchment paper, make sure that you're getting brown parchment paper. Most parchment papers are white, therefore that means that they're bleached. What happens when you take a coffee filter, a paper towel, hit parchment paper, and then put it under heat? Bleach is going to seep out, it's going to go into your food. I don't think anybody wants to actually ingest bleach. So we're going to just take a spoon. Out of this batch, you're going to be able to get anywhere from 9 to 10 drop biscuits. So we're going to just set those on the baking sheet. Once they're done, I pop them into the oven at 350, and then we're going to bake them for about 10 minutes. Your end result would be these delicious drop biscuits. And so this is a great thing to have with your family for breakfast. You can have it with dinner. I think it's great with an over medium egg. And sometimes if you want to add a little extra flavor, you can add a little bit of ghee to it. Ghee is clarified butter, meaning there's no milk solids in it. So if you want to have a tasty breakfast, a healthy breakfast, something that can substitute for all of the junk that we typically get at the grocery stores, this is a great option for you and your family, and I hope you get to enjoy it.